What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Game Club, your monthly video game book club where we dive deep into a game to discover what about it works, doesn't work, and gauge just how great it really is. This is so we can engage in an elevated conversation about games irrespective of genre, age, or popularity, and ask ourselves, what is it that truly makes a game the greatest of all time? This month, we are reviewing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, the remakes. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, alongside my good friends and co-hosts. Say hello to the people, Phil Shoemaker.
Hello, that's me.
And say hello to the people, Connor Elliott.
And it's me, Connor Elliott, the skater. I'm now a skater.
You are now a skater.
Vance?
I have to pee.
That
was a bit. That was a stream bit.
That was a stream bit. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear your thoughts on the game down in the comments below and hear what about this game you find interesting. Of course, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 came out September 4th, 2020. Launched on next generation PS5 and Xbox Series March 26, 2021. The original two games were released in 1999 and 2000. We all play. Well, I guess we all played probably the PS5 version. Oh no, you played on PC.
PC, yes.
Yeah.
So even if you guys wanted to play multiplayer, you couldn't because there's no cross.
That was the
I know.
issue,
Yeah. But I think they're split screen. So
there's split screen.
Yeah.
There is absolutely split screen.
Metacritic of 89 on the PS4. The first game since Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 in 2015. Connor, can you guess what the Metacritic score for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 was?
82.
Sir, it was 32.
Jesus.
Yes.
Very poorly received.
Tony Hawk was in the toilet when this remake thing came out, which is why it was so beloved and actually sold like a bunch of copies. We're going to get into a minute. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 is a 92, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is a 98, tied
Deserved.
for second place as the highest rated Metacritic game alongside Soul Calibur, the first one, and Grand Theft Auto 4. Not so deserved, but we'll get there one day. It is the fastest selling in the franchise, surpassing 1 million copies sold in 2 weeks. Developed by Vicarious Visions, who previously made, Phil?
Crash Insane
Trilogy. Originally was designed by Neversoft, and in the hangar level in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, in this one, they've got Neversoft logos all over the place to kind of like pay homage.
I remember the OG Neversoft banner that would play before all of them with like the eyeball that got like skewered.
Yeah, it was a classic intro. Published by Activision. In May 2020, Activision announced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, which was developed by Vicarious Visions, who previously worked on ports for several Tony Hawk games using Unreal Engine 4. According to Vicarious Visions Chief Operating Officer Simon Ebehar, the studio obtained Neversoft's original handling code and layered it to modernize the handling, as well as consulting with former employees. The team worked on the level geometry to make sure the players' skating lines were the same from the original games. Further, the team had redone all the art assets for the game's 19 levels to prepare it for 4K resolution, but otherwise keep the game familiar to players. Vicarious Visions studio head Jen O'Neill confirmed that most of the licensed songs from the first two games would return. 3 tracks from the original 2 games are not present, while 37 new tracks have been added. The game features 21 professional skateboarders as well as 3 original characters. All of the pro skateboarders from the first 2 games have returned for the remake, appearing as their current age, at least current at release, because it's now been 5 years later.
Not all of the pro skateboarders from the first 2 games have returned.
That's what I got online.
Bam Margera is not in the game.
I don't know what to tell you.
Unless he wasn't in the first 2, and he was only in 3 and 4.
He probably was only in 3 and 4. When putting together the roster, specific attention was paid to represent ethnic and gender diversity, leading to the inclusion of transgender skater Leo Baker, as well as several other skaters of different ethnicities and sexual orientations. The game is noted to be Vicarious Visions' final work as a subsidiary of Activision before being merged into Blizzard Entertainment on January 22nd, 2021. We covered this on the Gamescast, Connor, when it happened. Fucking heartbreaking. It was one of the worst things. And they were doing this across the board. Toys for Bob, Vicarious Visions, all of those like smaller studios that like were putting out great remakes or great games just totally stowed away and
we
became...
mentioned Vicarious and how they made Crash Insane Trilogy. Toys for Bob were responsible for the Spyro Reignited trilogy.
Yeah, and that's the thing where it overshadowed my time playing this game. But we can talk about that later if we need to.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
It did, because every single time I was like, well, I wonder what we're going to see from these people next.
Nothing.
Yeah. No, we probably won't say it in the podcast.
According to both Tony Hawk and former Vicarious developer Andy Gentile, there were plans to remake the third and fourth game in the Tony Hawk series, but when Vicarious was merged under Blizzard, Activision looked for other third-party developers to pursue the remakes, but found no one as skilled as the Vicarious team, so these remakes were dropped. Behind the scenes, the project was revived, and on March 4th, 2025, a new remake titled Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4, developed by Iron Galaxy, was announced after weeks of teasing on social media, which was released on July 11th of that same year. 1+2 won Best Sports/Racing at both the Game Awards and DICE Awards. And I want to start with that 3+4 here, gentlemen, because 3+4 was my first... Well, I dabbled in... Okay, let me back up. So, I've had very limited experience with Tony Hawk Pro Skater as a franchise. My first blush with it was on the Xbox 360. There was a game called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, which had fan favorite levels from 1, 2, and I believe 3, but maybe it was just 2. And it was a remake of 1 and 2 with just like fan favorite levels. It didn't have all of them like this one did. It just had it had, what's the first one in 1 called? Hangar?
Hangar, yeah.
No, that's the first one in 2.
No, sorry. Warehouse.
Warehouse. It had warehouse. It had school. And it had a couple of other levels. So like when I played them in this one, those levels were very familiar to me because I had played them in that remake, which is not loved. I think it's got like a 50 something on Metacritic or something like that. But it was cool because you could play as your Xbox 360 avatar as a skater. You know, that was neat. So I was me doing kickflips and stuff and so forth. And that was my first blush with it. I played that for, I don't know, however long I played for it as a kid. And then it wasn't until last year where in the lead up to 3+4, I turned on 1+2 and played like the first like 3 levels. And I was like, oh man, this is really fun. I'm having a blast with this. And then 3+4 came out, and I was too busy to finish 1+2 like I wanted to. So I just played a bunch of 3+4. I don't even think I finished 3 ever. But I played a bunch of it, and it landed on my top 10 because I loved 3+4 so much. The soundtrack was more to my personal taste. I liked the color scheme more, and I was just having a blast as my first real dive into Tony Hawk. So then to follow this up with this review, I didn't do my good job. Okay, all right. Well, good job, Tavin. We're gonna live here. We're gonna live here the whole review. I hate myself just as much as I hate you guys.
I almost said something, but I was like, I thought you'd already resolved in your own mind that you weren't gonna do the different camera angles. So
did you reset your mic again?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Why is it working now?
Oh no, we did do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did. You told me to.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess it picked it back up. Okay, great. I love Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 is an absolute blast. This game is so much fucking fun. This game is great. But it stops short of being like amazing or like a masterpiece or anything like that for me. It's just a lot of fun. It's probably some of the most fun you can have playing a video game. But to me, it just doesn't reach that upper echelon of game. And I think it's just because of how limited it is in scope. But because it's limited in scope, it's really able to dial in and do what it does very, very, very well. Kind of like how we talk about Portal a little bit, where like, yes, it's much more limited and it's only 2 to 3 hours, but those 2 to 3 hours are a masterclass in game design. This is not a masterclass in game design, but it being 15-ish, 20 hours, just gives you time and space to really dig in deep, get your teeth sunk into the meat of the mechanics, and really, really enjoy yourself with it.
To overuse the word, it is a masterclass in remakes, though. From how they
I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah, this is a phenomenal remake, right? And I think this remake specifically sets the example of, alongside the Crash Insane
trilogy,
of like, hey, if you're going to have a very traditional remake in which you're just kind of making things prettier and feel a little bit better, but you're keeping that core design exactly the same,
and
these are how you do that.
I know it's not exactly the same thing, but I mentioned it before, but Toys for Bob's Spyro Reignited is the same way.
Same way. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And it's when like you jump to other remakes that try to do the same thing, sort of like a Delta Snake Eater, where you're like, okay, this is good, but like you're kind of just still missing that sauce, you know? And I don't know, I can't put into words what the difference is between Delta and this, but this has sauce still. This retains the original game's sauce. And I have like a weird history with Tony Hawk on top of that. I've mentioned my friend Daniel most recently on the Piggy Bank, which is going live next Saturday. But I don't think he was a skater, but he was definitely into skater culture.
Yeah.
Big time. You know, like he wore those types of clothes and like was into graffiti. And
my older brother was the same way. He really tried to be.
Yeah, right. And he was Daniel was really, really into like cars and stuff, but like he was kind of sort of connected to skater culture too. So I remember he would play these games a lot. And like we'd go to a McDonald's and like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I think 2 or 3 or whatever, was always like one of the video games of like the chosen time to be at the McDonald's play place. And so that was kind of neat and cool. But I never really had put real hands on until last year and now this time. And I love it, man. It's a blast. It's so much fun to play. When I'm playing it, I have a lot of trouble putting it down. And it really feeds into that. Not one more. No, I can do that better. Okay. If I hit an ollie off of this into a manual grind, onto a rail grind, and then do a tailspin here at the end, I'll hit max points on whatever I'm trying to do, right? Or you know, it's just so fun to explore the levels and get the skate letters and get the little like extra collectible that is like preset for the level or whatever, or to like challenge yourself to get the secret tapes, or to challenge yourself to hit the specific tricks off of jumps that they want you to hit and so forth. Like that's just such a blast. I don't like the heat competition map challenges.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of those. I think it's purely because I'm just not good enough at the game. Yeah. Like those are for like people who like live and breathe these games. And if I was 10, I would like these games would have become my personality if I had played them when I was that young. But you know, I'm playing them at 28 and I've got a job and I make content on the internet. So like I just don't have the time to dedicate to get as good as I want to be at these games, but I want to. And that's like a really key defining thing. There's a bunch of games that we play that are either like this, where it's like score, attack, do as good as you can, this, that, and third, or like, you know, fighting games are a great example. I have so much respect and love for fighting games, but I don't have the time or the desire to necessarily get as good as I want to at them, to engage with them in that much. This one I do, and I get close, and then I get distracted and have to move on to something else. Cairn, now Resident Evil, Requiem, you know, a million other things that we're playing, the next game that we play for the game club. But I had so much fun playing this, and it only got better and better as I kept going. I do like 2 more than 1 in terms of the remake package here. I think 2's levels are more expansive. They've got more like hidden cool secret areas to them. And I think generally they're just kind of better. But the pace in which they level up your skater, and I used to create your own skater in this. The pace in which they level you up really allows you that, like, when you get to 2, you're like nailing it, and you're like really like taking advantage of all of the mechanics, and you're like really getting into that flow state. And you're like starting to get actually pretty good at the game, to where like I like kind of struggled my way through 1, got to 2, fucking crushed 2, looked back at 1 and said, well, if I'm this good now, let me try again. And so I went and tried again, and had that same experience where like levels that used to like I would barely be able to get like 30,000 points, now I'm getting 130 and not really breaking that much of a sweat, you know? And I'm like, this just feels so satisfying to play, and it's just fun to just challenge yourself to be as good as you can be. Connor, I want to jump to you next. So first, what is your experience with Tony Hawk?
Well, my experience in the past is playing Tony Hawk Underground. I don't know if it's separated by this, the different entries in that series, but I always vividly remember a cutscene that plays when it's like the studio name that pops up, where it's a skater going on a street, he like trips, and then he trips near a sewer drain, and then it drain opens, and like some creature from the Black Lagoon type monster comes out.
I think I know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Like, I think his tooth comes out, like he hits his head or something
it's
like
that. Scratch. I think they had like custom versions of this for games.
I think
they had
did,
the time
yeah.
and money to do that, you know? So
Yeah,
it may
I
have
have no
been, it may not have been a skater, but it may have been somebody else who did the same thing. But continue.
Yeah, I always remember that as my experience with Tony Hawk. So this is my first time really putting my nose to the grindstone, playing a skating game. And the thing that I would eventually come to realize is this is the type of game series, at least if I'm understanding how other Tony Hawk or skating games play, which to my understanding, they play generally similar. At the very least, they kind of have the same things going on. It's the most similar to fighting games. And that ended up making me really love this game. The flow of how you do tricks, because of course it's a game about doing as many tricks as you possibly can to try and get as high of a score, and also doing your little bits of baubles of things you collect and walls that you ride or whatever it is that change level to level to level. But applying the flow of fighting games, which use a lot of motion inputs, using, cleanly pressing the down button to the down bottom, the right left button to the right button to do a quarter circle, to do some kind of fireball, for example. When I started putting my perspective of fighting games into this Tony Hawk game, I realized, well, when you're doing all of these tricks and your spins and all these stuff with the square and the circle button,
Circle and triangle.
Well, the triangle's like grinding.
Yeah.
Circle for trick.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and using those buttons in the same way you would play a fighting game to just smoothly move through a number of different trips and all that stuff to get a high score. And it eventually got to the point where I was with you, Tavin. I didn't like the competition levels because it kind of broke up the flow that I'd come to really love with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 of getting, jumping over fire hydrants, grinding on cop cars, getting the skate letterings. I always enjoyed doing those and just trying to get as high of a score as possible while failing as little as possible to try and gain medals, either a bronze, a gold, or a silver medal.
I never got higher than bronze.
And neither did I.
I got silver once.
Yeah, and eventually that culminated in me getting gold in all of the ones in Tony Hawk 2 because all of a sudden I elevated my skill to a new level at different stages of the game. At first, when they opened the tutorial up, they're like, hey, it's like real skating. You're going to fail, but eventually you're going to get it, and then you're going to be skating like a pro. You eventually at least become competent, but then competent, if you really put more time into the game, then become skilled, and then you become I don't know if getting
Pro
gold
skater.
and all. I don't know if being a pro skater.
Pro skater.
Maybe I am. I don't know if getting the gold medals in all of the competitions or in the.
It's like
they call them competitions, I think.
Like an Evil Within 2, where it's like, maybe you could be a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
And they look at the camera. And so from that perspective, I grew to love this game the more time I played it. You can't really put it down when you're getting into that flow state, which is what this game is all about. I loved certain levels. Like, for example, the hangar level, the beginning of level 2 in Tony Hawk 2 is one of my favorite. I classify it as a tutorial level because if you decided to go with 2 first,
if you did that one first,
I get you. It functions in that role, and it functions amazingly, more so than the first tutorial level in the first Tony Hawk game. But that leads into my issue being that there were, aside from the standout levels, overall, especially as I played the game more and I became more familiar with what is a good level in a skating game, specifically the school levels, the hangar level, as I just mentioned. I'm trying to think of another one. The tutorial area that opens up into that's like one of the competitions. See, that's the problem, is that the school is kind of the main thing I think about when it comes to the levels in Tony Hawk's what's the way to condense this?
THPS.
CHPS. THPS.
THPS.
Yeah, I don't like that acronym. Yeah, THPS. At a certain point, I'm like, well, I want more from these level designs. I keep really wanting to go back to the same ones over and over and over again, rather than doing the entire run all the way through. Like, there was a number of levels I was saying, I'm not going to go back to that one. I'm going to go back to these ones to try and get the highest score possible and try to progress through the game that way.
Are you referencing the ones that are more like straight shot levels? That
not
you're
even
going
just straight shot levels. I'm thinking Pittsburgh, the last one in 2.
It was just Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yeah.
Or no, it was Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, that's what it was.
I like that one.
Yeah, I really didn't like that one. I liked the mall level, which is one of those, because there's 2 different kinds of levels.
I don't like that one.
I didn't at first. As I got more skilled at the game and went back to it, it's kind of a testament of you just need to keep going. You don't double back. You just go through, and you use the level to your advantage to get as high of a points as you need to. And especially when you factor in getting up on high and jumping on those rails that are abandoned, that's very satisfying to get some good air and do tips and tricks and extend out your combo as long as possible. But I mainly have the ones in my mind, like I said, the school, the hangar, that I go back to when I think of the levels. And so I kind of chalk that up to something the levels that maybe 3 and 4 fix. It was just missing. It didn't make me want to go back to it as much as I maybe should have. It was more the gameplay loop, I realized, that was making me do that rather than the design of the levels itself. More importantly, though, Tavin, your music tastes are wrong as a general thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
you have a particular type of music you like, unlike me, who can listen to any type of music and enjoy himself. Mongolian throat singing, put that on. I don't care. I do love it. And Tavin was like, I like 3 and 4 more, and I know there's more rap there. I'm like, well, that's really all it is, because I like the punk skating music that is in 1 and 2.
To be clear, I like the music in this game.
Overall,
I don't know if I needed it. There's a lot of music in this game, and I don't know if I needed all of it.
I'll tell you what. The only thing that I like popped off to every single time it came on was Superman.
Superman's like
so
I
good.
think Superman's the perfect song for this game.
Yeah,
like
great.
that just like nails the vibe and the culture that we're going for.
It immediately takes me back to just playing on PS2 with my brother, like doing like the graffiti multiplayer where like you take over certain ramps and stuff, and immediately just brought me back to those moments.
And I agree wholeheartedly with that, with a couple of the songs. A lot of them are ones where they're nice when you first listen to them, but in a game where you're having to listen to music over and over and over again, the last quarter of the game, I was just like skipping every song.
I mean, you can edit the playlist.
You can.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. You can take songs out of rotation.
Maybe that makes it better then. But
There's a couple of them that I was like, this song sucks.
Yeah.
Like, get it out of here.
There were definitely those, and I would have to switch through them. So the overall music catalog, except for a few standout gems, I think could have been a bit better
There was
overall.
one specific song that I would like. It would start up, and I was like, "Oh, Superman!" Oh no, it's not Superman.
Yeah, but even so, that core gameplay experience of just trying to get more efficient at inputting movements to try and do as many trips and I keep tripping up over my words whenever I say spins and tricks and all that shit. But all of those are incredibly satisfying to do. Grinding on rails into new tricks as well. Just a game you just realize that 3 hours have gone by the time you realize maybe I should go to bed or maybe I should go play a different game. And my fingers are kind of hurting. My fingers are getting cramped.
Your fingers gonna hurt. Your fingers gonna hurt.
They will. And Tavin, if I had more time I do have time, but if I was the kind of person that really liked to play games over and over and over again, this would be in that rotation along with things like Hades 2.
Yeah.
Because it's the gift that keeps on giving.
These are great games to like just kind of keep on the console to be like, I don't know, I've got 45 minutes. I don't want to go to bed yet, or let me just do this and fuck around for a little bit.
You think, can you kick it? And you say, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
I'll tell you what, like, I'm definitely the lowest on this game of the three of us, and I still haven't deleted it.
There you go. I have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 on my console still. Phil, tell me where are you at with since you brought it up, where are you at with Tony Hawk's 1+2?
Yeah, see, and I really don't want to sound negative
Yeah.
You're Tavin
on
this
this
episode.
at all, because this game is incredibly well put together. I admire just like the craftsmanship of just like the loop, right?
Yeah.
Of I'm gonna start here. And kind of like mapping out each individual level and be like, I want to do this certain goal first, and then I'm gonna focus more on scoring. Or like if I want to go to this spot, I had this huge high combo in this one spot. I'm gonna just see how high I can make that combo. I'm thinking specifically of in one that the city with the movie theater.
Yes. Yeah.
And that movie theater, like the circular rail grind.
You can bounce off the wall, get back on the thing.
Insanely high scoring level for me. But I don't think I like these games.
Oh no! What?
Yeah. I think they're incredibly well made. I think I fully respect to anybody who loves these games, but they're just not for me.
That's crazy to me. If you were to tell me who enjoys games like this out of this panel, I would have said you first.
I know. It doesn't. It's an anomaly for sure. But yeah, I still don't think that I'm gonna be like low scoring on this when it comes to like, because I know where I have a pretty good idea of where I want this on the master list.
Yeah.
And I have nothing but respect for this game.
Yeah.
It just did not click for me. It made my hands hurt. It frustrated me in incredible different ways. I just, for whatever reason, my hands weren't fast enough on the sticks, and they hurt. I have some weird calluses now on the sides of my fingers, and at one point there was one day I like fucked my thumb up, where like it would be like almost like my nail was coming up or something like
Yeah.
that. It like really fucking hurt.
Really?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
heard that
Interesting.
happen.
I didn't
Not
have
in the
that
game, but
Like a hammer thumb, or I think that's what they call that, or something like that.
Flint thumb.
Like I think the music, like we talked about the music. I like the music in this game. I didn't create my own skater. I didn't really dive into that. I think it's a very well made tutorial. And what Connor was saying, it's like, oh, well, yeah, it's similar to skating, where like you're not going to be good at first, but you're going to learn it. And then going from 1 to 2, I did have that moment where I was like, oh, I'm enjoying this way more.
Yeah.
Mostly probably because I'm just better at the game.
Yeah.
I have more skill points in certain stats. But also I think overall I just love I liked more of the levels from 2 than I liked from 1. Where like I love that hangar level as the opening. I loved that. I think this was a better school level.
I think
than
School
the
2
first.
is better than School 1.
I think School 2 was way more fun. I loved
Yeah.
fucking Jack Black in the golf cart
Yes.
running around. being
Oh
like,
my God, so good.
Hey, watch out! Was he in the original game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
two?
thought he would've been, yeah.
The original 2, yeah. There was a whole thing whenever this game was coming out. It's like, oh, Jack Black's returning as I forget his name, the character name, but yeah, I think I like Venice Beach a lot. I loved all of the different.
I hate that one.
Venice Beach pissed me off.
Really?
Dude, just like I'm in the flow state, I'm grinding, I'm jumping, I'm doing tricks, and then oh
Sand.
fuck, you hit sand, restart. I'm like, motherfucker, then why did you make the line like that?
Did you get the
Like,
secret tape in Venice Beach?
I don't think so.
It's hard as fuck.
Yeah, it's real hard to get. I got the one in what fucking city is it where you have to like get up the skyscraper and like loop around it and then like go off this big jump and crash through an awning?
That's probably the same one.
It's the one that has like it's got a big fountain like
Yeah, I
off-
know. It's the second till it's
It starts you off on like a downhill ramp thing.
that's probably one of the best levels.
I love that level.
Yeah,
That's one of my
City,
favorites.
Is that City?
No,
City
it's not
2?
because City's at night and it's a daytime level. And I
Well,
think it's in 2.
There's that one in 2 that's New York.
It's not New York.
I don't think it's New York.
No, New York is it's not New York. I just know that.
See, I knew. Yeah, last night I was like, I should probably pull up a list. Of all the levels.
Marseille.
Nah, that doesn't sound right.
That was a competition level.
Oh yeah, it was Maybe it was New York. No,
I don't think
Skate
it was.
Street. Was it Skate Street? No, Skate Street's the other. Is it NYC?
Chicago. Was it Chicago?
Was it New York?
It might have been New York. No.
No, New York's another nighttime one, isn't it?
It's in the
I thought so.
nighttime, yeah.
But I'm looking at the list. That's AI, isn't it? Yeah. Hangar, New York City, Venice Beach, Skate Street.
I knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna
Skate Street
happen.
was another night one where it was,
Was
a
that in-
competition.
Was that in 1 then?
Maybe.
I think it's in
Probably
1
in
then.
It's probably Chicago.
Is it just streets? It might be streets.
That's the one where
I'm on the
It's the San
Downhill
Francisco
Jam.
level.
It's Downhill Jam from
No,
1.
it's not
Downhill
Downhill
Jam was like a dam.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes.
Downhill Jam was a dam.
Where you had to hit the valves and release the water.
It probably was streets.
I think
was
it's
the one where, like
streets.
San Francisco.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
I remember
streets.
that, yeah.
That one I did not get.
Love
That's definitely San Francisco because like you can see like
the public
the
transportation
trolleys
joints.
and stuff.
Yeah.
You had to like break off the lights on the cop cars and stuff.
Yeah. See, yeah, that one is one of my favorites right there. I mean, I said School 2 I like more, but I love both schools.
Yeah.
Downtown I loved.
Downhill Jam's not the best. That's the only,
Any of the straight shots. See, I like Downtown Gym more than Mall.
Downhill Jam
Yeah.
I do like more than Mall.
I was there at first, but then again, when I elevated to that other skill level, I was like, malls pretty damn cool.
Yeah, Philadelphia was great. What is building? Oh, Bull Ring. Bull Ring was cool.
I like Bull Ring.
I liked Bull Ring because like there's like a cool like loop-de-loop you can do,
Yeah.
and if you time it right into a manual, because that loop-de-loop is worth like 10,000 points.
Yeah.
So if you time it right into a manual, it's like a great start off to like a bazooka combo or whatever. But I'm not good enough at the game for these for
Yeah.
these
gonna say,
competition
and
levels.
I haven't decided whether or not I am gonna go back in this game. So like it still lives on PS5
Yeah.
right now, but we'll see whenever I do decide if I decide to jump into Resident Evil or something like that. If I still have the space for it.
Yeah, and then
It's the first on the list. It's on the deletion on deck.
damn.
Mhm.
Nah,
Deck
yeah,
for
see,
release.
yeah. I'm always gonna keep at least one of these remake packages together, like or on the console at some point. Some other things that are included in this game that weren't in the original games that came about later. in development cycles. There's some like tricks and things that like didn't exist in, I forget which ones. I think it's like grab tricks or something, or maybe it's wall plants and stuff. Like those exist like maybe in 2, but definitely like some of them only exist in 3 on. But like things like create a park are here, and I toyed around with it just to kind of see what's up about it. It's a pretty good creation tool system. From what I could tell from what I quickly made, I just made like a loop of railing and like that and stuff. Like you're not gonna get like the great like handcrafted stuff that you get in the main campaigns, but you can get some fun stuff for sure. But then I looked online to like see what all the like famous things, and it's all like spectacle levels where it's like, oh, grind to the top of the height limit and then like come down, and they call it a roller coaster, and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Or it's like, hey, this is a great level where you can get 1,000,000 points really, really easily, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. So like, guys, just, step up your creativity a little bit. But I love that it's there. All the multiplayer stuff we didn't really dive into. We didn't dive into it. And I would have liked to, just to kind of play around. I did like look in the menus just to see what the different modes are and stuff, and it seems like a lot of
They
fun.
still have graffiti?
I think so. Yeah, where you do a trick on a thing and now you own it. Yeah,
that was the classic one that me and my brother played through all the time on Pro Skater 4 specifically.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun to play with.
I just thought of it. This is a criticism. As far as gameplay feel, and it's tricky because you never know if it's like, am I just not in tune with the system enough to know
I know
that?
exactly what you're saying. I want to get into this. Yeah,
it's mainly when I'm doing a lot of tricks on, what do you call them? Half pipes
and ramps and stuff. Yeah.
It's 2 different situations. One where I go to like another kind of half pipe, like there was a corner or like a curve on the environment.
Yeah.
And then you go to this other one, and it seems like I'm perfectly fine. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna easily slide on in, but I don't, and I fall, and I'm like, how'd I fall? I was straight out.
Or the number of times that you think you're hitting it dead on, so you're just gonna get straight up, and they send you like all the way to the left for some reason. You're like, what the fuck?
Or in my case, I sent Tavin a clip of me doing a bunch of tricks, and then I faced through the wall.
Oh shit!
It was really, he went through the wall and like sunk through and then like bailed out, and then it like cuts him back in, and the game like says,
before you say that, you know how like if you finish the end of like a level like the mall, it'll send you back and there'll be like text on screen or whatever, and it rotates through it. And so I guess the one that I had on deck for me was "You suck," and so I faced through the wall, fall through the world, and then it just told me I suck.
I didn't do anything.
You're like, it's not my fault. It's you.
I didn't do this.
And weirdly going, like, especially with Martial, the competition map, whenever I would jump towards like the border of the map, it seemed like the environment would, again, those half pipes, a lot of them just lead directly to that, to the edge of that map, and it seems like I would do tricks over that, and I do it successfully, but for some reason, the way I guess he hit the wall,
I liked Martial.
would just immediately
It's got
fall.
like the crates, like you can do like a grab trick on like a half pipe thing onto a crate, and it's all extra points. And then
did I like Martial? Hold on.
There's like a rail that is like interrupted by one of these crates, and then like if you jump onto it, you get an extra points for being on there.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, that was where I was really understanding. Oh, I can get a lot of points at Martial because it is just easy to do those tricks.
It's Marseille.
It's French. But aside from that, little moments where I go, that's bullshit. And of course, again, reiterate, I don't know if it really was bullshit or I just don't have enough of a handle on the controls and how to land properly.
The physics of the game, yeah.
But I kind of err on the side that it was the physics being wrong, because I know it looked, at least I was completely fine, but I would fall.
It's right, I want to say 80% of the time. Yeah. But that 20% that it's wrong is infuriating.
Because it ruins your whole thing sometimes.
It'll ruin your whole run, and you're like, what the fuck? It's not my fault.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
I loved this one. This one was great.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
That one was one of my favorite like competition levels for sure.
Yeah, I think it was really like the early competition levels are kind of stinky.
I think the best one is still in 2. It's the one after where it's like just that big like smooth like indoor park.
The tutorial level.
Yeah.
Basically, it looks like the tutorial.
It is literally the tutorial.
It is
level.
the tutorial
Is it?
level. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you just never see the tutorial level like again until you get to that point. Yeah, and then there's one that looks like it.
Gotcha.
The first or second one, which that one's okay.
I did not like that like really small, cramped one where it was like at night, and it was like you were in a city, and it was like a competition level. It was very, very cramped, and there was not a whole lot to do.
You talking Roswell?
No, not Roswell.
Okay, because I was just about to say I love Roswell.
No, it was a couple levels before that one.
Oh, okay. I'm struggling. I And I also get confused because some of the competition ones are in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Like there's one that's like half beach in 3 that I'm like, I fucking hate that level. But and I always think of that one as the one I don't like. But
there's
it's
like
not in this game.
There's like a bowl that has like an eyeball painted on the bottom of it.
Oh shit! Yes.
Yeah, I did not like that level.
You know what? Yeah, I didn't really like it all that much either. I can't remember where that was.
I mean, I don't
though.
think there's not like the regular levels. There's not a level I don't like. Like just straight up, I'm like, I don't like this level at all or whatever. Like Mall gets the closest to me, but like I still think it's fine and I still have fun there. You know, especially in 2. I think 2 is like all bangers. Like I think all of 2 is fantastic.
That's the only time I didn't like a map. Like I was like, this map sucks. It was the one you like, Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah, I did not like that one.
Oh, I like that one. Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I did like the cool, you ride the telephone pole and it brings down the fences and then it opens that other like cool skate park.
Dude, I love all of those moments in 2 were so great. Like you ride that in Hangar. The first time you grind on the helicopter and it like
and it takes
starts
off
up and
goes
takes off.
through
You go,
the wall.
whoa!
Yeah.
Like
there's the bit if you grind on that one little propeller, it'll like open up a wind
yeah.
tunnel.
And in school too, it's like if you like grind up and jump on a building and then jump on a flagpole and then you can get to like a whole secret like backyard area looking area.
That.
Yeah, man, it's complicated.
Awesome.
There's not a lot to do in that backyard, but it's the fact that it's there. It's like here's a little secret. Like you know,
there was a moment I got a little frustrated in trying to get up to the secret tape in school too. Where like there was this whole thing where like I kept on like it just wasn't like. My controller just wasn't listening to me.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I want to wall ride onto this, to then grind onto this, to then get onto this little awning, and then go over and then wall ride across, and then like, I don't know. It was a whole thing.
There's just the time you have to spend to be like, all right, I just have to fucking grind out this one trick to do this one thing I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like not annoying, but like that's skating.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, well, I mean, you know, it's just kind of part of the part
it's
of
like
it.
real.
You know, so like, and then when you finally do it, and not only do it, when you can start doing it consistently, and then like do it without even like your thumbs are on autopilot, like that is so satisfying. Like to
feel so cool. Like,
to
yeah, just did that trick.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
yeah,
I
fucking
just did it 'cause I
light
can.
work. Oh, you're still failing at that one jump. All right, let me show you how it's done, son. You know.
Yeah, the one I was saying I hated is Skate Street.
Oh yeah, Skate Street sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because we're looking at old level pictures, so it's a little hard to like differentiate
It was
them.
definitely this one.
Yeah, this one it's got more color in it in the remake, right?
It's got like a bowl. Yeah, it's got a little more color. And there's like a weird bowl that has like an eyeball painted on it.
See, I don't know if I
That's
ever
just
knocked
street.
down. I don't know if I ever knocked down the telephone pole, and it opens
Philadelphia?
up. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
In
Did you not?
I don't think so.
No. It's he. The one he's talking about is Philadelphia, where you knocked on the
Oh,
telephone.
yeah,
It opens up a little skate park.
One of the objectives is to do lip tricks, and it's the area where you do them because the only place you can.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be complicated because like from what I hear from Tony Hawk fans, like 3+4 is just not as good of a package as 1+2 is.
and
but
the score reflects that too.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But the in my opinion, like Tony Hawk 1 is good, but like they don't have like a lot of bangers in it. 2 has bangers, and
2
I think
carries it the most.
it's that first iteration where they were figuring it out, and then
Mhm.
they're like, all right, we got some good stuff here, check it out, and like the public responded, and then in 2 they went, all right, well let's go balls to the wall.
Yeah.
In 3, and I would assume also in 4, it continues that where like 3 is just banger. Like I even like some of the competition levels in 3, and like some of that's got like there's a Canada level in 3 that I was obsessed with for like 3 days straight last year, where I'm just fucking around in this level. I'm done with it. I'm just fucking around in it.
I don't know if they added it in 3, but I know in 4 you can do what's called sketching, and that's like grabbing onto a car and then using it to earn momentum.
They put that in the remakes. Yeah, you can do that
in 3.
Yeah, in 3 and 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's dope.
I just knew you couldn't do it in this one.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
In 1
So
and 2.
yeah, it's a weird combination of like mechanics or things that were in the original or like that were in later iterations that they added in, but I think it just makes this package as a whole like so much more complete and so much more focused. Like I really enjoy this project. I guess let's get into ranking.
I agree.
so. Here.
I don't think we have much more to like say.
Yeah, I
We're
mean we
gonna
can
set our
nerd
piece.
out and talk about oh man, Venice Beach. There's some nightmare challenges in Venice Beach where I was like, fuck this shit.
I think I cleared it out. Except for like the highest score thing.
I
got like the
think
pro
I did
score,
the highest,
not the 6 score.
I think I did everything
here.
but the secret tape, maybe, but I could be wrong. There might be something else.
I'd actually looked that up. Because I was so like,
I
wanted.
I was
the
looking
method
shit up.
to get the secret tape.
Yep.
I didn't like how often I had to look things up because I was like, oh, what does this mean? What is this like? It's like to get.
Yes.
I think one specifically is that first. I think it's New York, not New York. It's that first level with the movie theater in one.
Yeah.
Where it's
City,
like,
I think it's called.
Find all the 3 different gaps.
Yes, and I was like,
And I had to look up.
yeah.
Yeah, and I had
Oh,
to
what's a
find
gap?
out what are the 3 gaps? Like,
and there was another one where it was, it was. I can't remember. I literally just had it, and then I all of a sudden associated it with what you were saying. But yeah, fuck it. Damn.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in an attempt to elevate what it means to be the greatest of all time, we like to rank all of the games that we review on this show and really just kind of compare the pros and cons of each game and sort of
Arbitrarily rank it.
The ranking doesn't matter. These games are great, but it's just a way to like compare and really have that conversation of what works and what doesn't work in comparison to other titles.
No. The ranking matters. It does matter. That's the whole point.
It matters to me.
What?
I hope it matters to you.
It does matter to me.
Yeah,
See, that's
like
what. Because as we have said multiple times, whole swaths of this list are just like an amazing game. You don't really need to. You really don't need to compare them. But we're human beings. We love comparing. We love ranking, and it's fun. So that's what we're doing here.
I don't think, and you can see it on screen right now. We have it all broken up into tiers. I don't think I need to read C tier, but I'll read like the top 3 of C tier just in case. Maybe Phil feels a way about it.
we'll see.
So we're starting at number 28, and then I'll stop at the top of A, but I also don't think we're going that high. Number 28, Dark Souls 2. 27, Halo Combat Evolved. 26, Dead Cells. 25, Shadow of the Colossus. 24, Mario 64. 23, Resident Evil 4. 22, Portal. 21, Kingdom Hearts 2. 20, Dark Souls. 19, Banjo-Kazooie. 18, Ratchet & Clank. Pokemon Soul Silver is number 17. 16 is Severed. And then 15 is Resident Evil. And if there's no chance in hell this is going that high, right, Connor?
Above what?
Resident Evil.
It's not going higher than Resident Evil. There's no way.
Do I need to
How
keep
about I
going?
rank it?
Do I need to keep going?
I'll rank it.
Do I need to keep going?
No.
Okay, great. Gentlemen, this is one that actually jumped up and down a couple of levels for me as I kept playing, and as I kept wondering how we talk about games on this show and the way in which we discuss them and so forth. And, you know, it's not just how much fun they are. It's not just how good they are, how good they look, or how good they feel. It's, you know, what did it mean when these games came out at the time? The impact of the title, the impact of the franchise, and sort of just like culturally, how do we speak about these games? Now, this is a remake of games that did a lot of that legwork for it, you know? So it's not getting a lot of points for me in impact and influence and so forth. I think when we talk about what does it mean to be a remake, this is great. This is a great example to point to. But it's the first 2 games that elevate this game to a position to where it's worth talking about, in my opinion. If you wiped the title of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater away from this game and gave it Skate Master Deluxe or whatever, you know, and it wasn't directly tied to that remake, I don't even think we would put it in our wheel to talk about, you know. But all of that said, it's just so fun, and they could have fucked it up, and I think they made the first 2 games even better. And in that, they delivered a package that like is really just so well crafted and put together, and just it's fucking fun, man. It's really, really goddamn good. And so I move around in the rankings with heart and soul and mind and where things go. But even though I think it's a better game than most of the games on this list, in good conscience, I can't put it above the first Dark Souls. And I'm willing to hear a conversation if Kingdom Hearts 2 goes above it. Like I actually like it won't take much to pull me over.
I mean, it's not going that high for me. So.
All right, great, but you're not the only one on this good panel.
I understand.
Phil, I want to actually jump to you first. And where do you go?
Let's go to me. For me, this game lives.
Never mind. Connor, you go.
Okay.
I, after a certain point, kind of knew where this game was going, and I didn't really experience anything that. I became to appreciate the game even more so, but it never really changed where I was ranking it at the time. So I'm just going to come out and say it. This is definitively, without any misgivings whatsoever, put this above Severed, below Resident Evil. I found this game to be, there's not a lot. The heights that the game could have reached, I don't think it didn't reach its apex. It could have gone higher than. It could have been better than it ended up being, which is saying a lot because the game is of so high quality. But there's not a lot of things. Like, for example, Pokemon Soul Silver, if we're going to compare it to other things on this list, that at the end of the day is a bare bones, pretty generic RPG. It's got a nice style, to it. Pokemon are fun. It's a fun crafted world. But Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is a game that can keep on giving. You can keep on playing it and enjoying it a great deal. It's one that brings you great amounts of satisfaction. It's got good levels for the most part. And I think a game that is able to, like Hades, as we've ranked on this game in the past, as we ranked that game in the past, is able to keep on making you love it years after you play it for the first time. As we've all said, it's going to probably lie on our consoles for quite some time before maybe Tony Hawk 3 and 4 replaces it. But putting it right below up, because Severed is also a game that has a great flow to it. It's fun to just constantly use your finger to fight all these crazy enemies that are just constantly put in front of you and switch between them to balance them as best you can. And this one kind of achieves that same kind of fun where you're just in that state. You lock in and you try to get as high of a score as you possibly can, and maybe you jump into the multiplayer a little bit. You have a little bit of fun playing with other people and challenging your skills with other people who are undoubtedly going to be better than you.
Yeah.
And I put this definitively below Resident Evil because Resident Evil is a king at level design, and it's great at establishing tone while being a very fun game to play, especially given how old it is and how well it holds up as a result of that. I don't think the first Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters would hold up as well as that game did without the help of the
that's a remake too.
What?
That's a remake also.
Tony Hawk's
Resident Evil.
No, I know, but even so, that's a remake that came out around the same time as those games did, in that same kind of era, the GameCube era, early 2000s, where, if you were to play the first
Resident
Tony
Evil 1 is 96?
96.
It's before Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, then the remake, though, is of the same time.
2002 or 3 or whatever.
Saying because the Resident Evil remake came out around the same time as the Tony Hawk games? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that the age of it still holds up, even though it's a game from early 2000s. I don't play it and say, this is just an outdated game. It has so many problems because of its outdatedness. I never really felt that with Resident Evil. And so it's mainly the level design and the tone and just it being a general fun game to play of why I would put it below that. But that's where I'm lying.
Yeah, you're lying, all right. Holy shit.
I mean, I don't think it's like a crazy take. It's just the impact of Dark Souls.
It's also,
but as we've mentioned before,
and like I just don't care for Kingdom Hearts 2 gameplay like that, but y'all do.
I also feel like you're discounting the depth that's there for like Pokemon and all the different like parties you can make and all the different combinations of Pokemon you can have on there. Because it's like it's not just one and done. At least it wasn't for me and several other Pokemon fans where like you're not playing through the game once and then putting it down. I played through that game several times with different combinations of Pokemon and
but see, that's my issue where the systems aren't deep enough to justify that.
We didn't even get all the way to Kanto, and
that is true. But that's the thing. By the the game is pretty easy as a most part. You're just blazing through it. It doesn't really challenge you. Not to mention, at a certain point, you have to lock in with your team. Like all the different Pokemons that you can get, you really just have to grind to make the most use out of them to level them up. Whereas when you're just naturally progressing through the game, you're at a certain point like, well, I can't get this new Pokemon because I already have my perfect team comp, and this is a flying type, and I already have my flying spot filled. And then, of course, the fact that, I just don't think there's that much depth to the game to make you want to replay it over again, unless you're a fan of Pokemon, like the Pokemon in Pokemon.
He's more negative on it than or he's wording that in a way that's more negative than I would, but I don't disagree. But I do think there is more depth than he's giving it credit, but I don't think it's enough to do what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just to put a stamp on it, I don't care about the cultures at the time of the gaming as much as I do of the game itself, and so that doesn't factor into.
That's the point of this show, dude. Like
it's not the point you've assigned to it that now you care about as much as you do. I mean, when we go talk about Bloodborne, for example, this is a whole other conversation, but in that you have mentioned the point recently how it didn't kind of hit as big as it did when it first released, the first year of its release.
When did I say that? I didn't.
You said that recently when we were talking. I made some comment about like being gypped at the Game Awards at the time.
Bloodborne switched conversations on Souls games from like, oh, everybody should play this instead of like you're just not good enough. No, Bloodborne turned it into
opened everyone's eyes to
this
this
is so
genre.
good that everybody should play it.
No, it objectively did. I'm just saying it didn't happen when the initial hit of that release didn't do that until a little bit later.
I've only talked about like the technical issues that Bloodborne had at release.
But you said it was again recently when we were talking about the Game Awards, because I was being like, well, that should have won. Bloodborne should have won that category over Witcher 3, and you were like, yeah, but the impact of it really wasn't as.
We're talking
big
The
as it
Witcher
was
3.
Yeah, but then you were saying you're saying Bloodborne. You said Witcher 3 hit, and
Yeah.
Bloodborne didn't hit to that same degree until
didn't.
a little bit later.
It didn't.
Yeah, until later. Then it started changing people's minds of like, wait, actually, this
Right,
game
but
is
if we're talking the
so
Game Awards,
influential.
you have to talk in the moment. And in the
gonna say,
moment,
the
Witcher
Game
3
Awards
was
is
way
just-
That's
bigger.
what I'm saying. I'm saying culturally, in the grander concept of culture, which isn't just attached to the Game Awards. In fact, it pretty much never is. It's about people's mind of how Bloodborne is came about with the DLC around that time. It wasn't immediately established from the
I
moment
don't
it came
agree.
out.
It wasn't a DLC thing. It was just a people playing it thing.
But either way, I mean, I'm getting kind of annoyed.
Word
at
of
your,
mouth is important.
I am getting legitimately annoyed at your, because at one point it was like, oh, well, you care about this and that matters to your ranking, but now you're seemingly arguing that I'm being incorrect if I'm not immediately saying that it needs to be put above another game because it's not as important.
I'm willing to have the conversation.
That's my point. We already had a
my point
long-winded
is you just
conversation
keep
on this.
discounting it, and I need you to stop discounting it.
I discount it from my perspective, but I don't discount it from yours. Whereas your biggest issue so far, it seems, with this game is that it's not over something like Dark Souls. It is over something like Dark Souls.
Yeah, if
which
Dark
has a
Souls
much
wasn't
greater
here, it
impact.
would probably go over Ratchet
Mm-hmm.
for me. But Dark Souls is there, so I got to do with what is in front of me here.
Yes. See, and that's what annoys me. Where it's like you've criticized. I look at the thing from what a game has, like side content.
But we're
for
talking
example, and the ability
greatness
to have.
and legacy.
That's what I'm saying is that you're saying that more than I'm saying that, and you're acting like this is a definitive thing that determines how this list is laid out.
This is
when it
how
just
this is how the conversation has always been. You're just upset.
No,
at
it's
it because
not,
I've
man.
started,
You just
I've started
assigned it to it.
No, it's what the conversation has always been, but like I remember having this conversation all the way back in Chrono Trigger, which was our third episode, right? Like this is what the conversation has always been. It's just now it's started to happen to games you like that I discredit over games you don't like because of impact and legacy and influence, right? It's just the same thing. It's just happening to games that you like more than me, and you want to keep pushing for it. And I respect that, but we should respect the giants that we're standing on. Like at the same time.
See, that's all in the conversation.
And again,
yes.
you keep weaponizing this against me, but I'm not being absurd with it. Like, if I was being absurd with it, Mario 64 would be number 1 on the fucking list, and it's 24.
I'm not saying you're
it's
being.
It's going to be 25 by the end of this episode.
I'm not saying you're being absurd with it. I'm saying you're immediately putting way more weight on that than the game itself. Like, it seems like at some point that matters more, and the cultural aspect, which is a fleeting moment in time.
If
that goes away at a certain point.
I feel if that were true, then this remake would rank way lower for me if that were true.
Yeah.
Like if influence mattered to the amount that you think I think it does, it would be 30s.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that now is because your
Almost
big
spilled this
justification is it's Dark Souls, right? That's what the whole conversation's centered around. But if you compare it to my position,
Dark Souls changed gaming.
Yeah, but then we're going to things like Ratchet and Clank. That didn't do anything even close to that, and even gameplay quality-wise, they're pretty close in terms of that quality.
Yeah.
Same thing with,
Well, it's an evolving conversation, and listen, there's some, from episode to episode, there's going to be some things that I say that may sound hypocritical, but it's what I felt at the time, and it's what I said at the time, and also, like, this is not Tavin's rankings. Like, I gotta work with the two of you as well, so things end up in places that I don't want them. Ratchet's too fucking high for me. Mm-hmm. It just is, and there's a number of other examples like that. So, like, from episode to episode, yes, there may be things that sound hypocritical coming from my mouth, but I'm doing the best I can to dictate why I'm saying these things in the way that I'm saying them. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 would rank above Ratchet and Clank if Dark Souls was not there, because Dark Souls changed gaming. And even though Tony Hawk's Pro Skater as a franchise had impact and influence and on culture, I don't think the game design ethos of it changed gaming. That's why Dark Souls gets a cemented spot above it. But it's right there. And we're just talking preferences. But you're jumping you're jumping 4 or 5 spots higher than that, and I'm just asking, hey, you as the big Dark Souls guy, you're not going to give any credit to the fact that Dark Souls changed gaming?
I am, but then there's so much more better things about this game, because Dark Souls
I don't
as a whole,
disagree.
Dark Souls falls off incredibly hard in the later half. This game never falls off.
I don't think it falls off. I don't think it falls off that hard. It falls off, but it's not like it doesn't go from like a great masterpiece to a shit game. It goes from hey, this is pretty good to like this is just all right.
It's just the interconnectivity of that level design in that first half that just immediately gets thrown in the trash in the second one for less interesting levels. As a general thing as well.
Sure, but I kind of feel it. I kind of take that in the same way of like in a survival horror game, the scary parts are all in the if it's 20 hours long, the scary parts are in the first 8 to 10. And then from there's a switch and you become the master of it. And it's just not scary in the last half. That's why survival horror games always get critiqued of like not being scary at the end. I mean, they can't be scary at the end. I kind of feel the same way about that is like, oh, wow, there's only so many times you can pull the interconnected level trick that makes me go, holy shit. And I think Dark Souls actually splitting off because then they give you then they give you
vessel that you travel with.
Yeah, the fast traveling in that thing, and they give you a more clear objective of go get the 4 things, right? Where at first it's just explore the world and try to get through it. Like I think they run the pace of that gimmick I think runs correct. It's just the level designs themselves kind of turn to shit, especially with Lost Islet.
Yes, that's
right.
The key thing. I'd be completely fine with the interconnectivity leaving if the levels were of the same level of quality or greater level of quality. It's the fact that they're not. It's like, well, what do I have? Like, I'm not working off in anything special here anymore, as I was originally.
Yeah, but I also don't think Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 reaches the heights that Dark Souls reaches. You know, and it's just a tricky. Like this is just a tricky conversation that we're having when discussing art and the fluidity of it, right?
Listen, I don't disagree at all with your ranking.
Let me propose something.
Yeah.
Read the title of the game.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2.
What if like? So we all agree that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is better than 1, right?
Yep.
How do we feel about splitting these up?
I had thought of that, and that becomes difficult because the only reason they're not split up is because it's a package. It's from a remake of an older game.
Kind of messes with game progression as well.
It does.
Sure. I was going to say y'all can shoot me down, but me personally, I'm ranking Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 way higher than 1.
I feel that. To me, it's a we're doing this series out of order, and I know you always groan every time I say this about anything that gets a remake, right? But I would rather have this be in a spot and then have 1 and 2 also have spots.
I would as well.
Oh my gosh!
I know. Well, that's the thing where I don't think we'll ever really play Tony
I
Hawk
hate
1 and 2.
By the time, guys, we are moving so slowly through games in this series. Y'all, I'll do this for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
And
in 5 years from now, you're saying you wouldn't be open to playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1?
I mean,
I just hate the idea of having all 3 of them on the list.
Right now when we're sub 50, but when we're 100 games deep, when we're 200 games deep,
that becomes different.
I will do this till the day I die.
Well, it becomes different of like, well, do we want to play the original of 1 and 2 that's going to be weird with the rankings, or do we want to go with the number of other skate games that exist out there before doubling back to the first and second Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
I would do it all, and the beauty of the game the beauty of the series is that it's decided by a picker wheel.
But that's the point of like, how often are we going to be playing a skating game to get through to that point where we're like, okay, let's go back to the first and second.
How often are we going to be doing any of it?
Right, that's the point.
I mean, that's why we started having choice months also, so that we could get to things that we want to talk about and switch things up. I just think it's a balance, right? And just the way it's going, like, brother, we may not have had a single Metal Gear Solid if we did not start doing picks, right? Sure. I mean, we may have had one. I mean, we've had one Uncharted. We've not played one of the good ones yet. You know? And like we've had one Halo, and we haven't played one of the good Halos yet.
We haven't had we've
been doing it for 3 years.
People like Arkham Asylum, but we haven't gotten to Arkham City.
Same shit.
But we are rectifying that with how we are choosing games and the wheel being altered. It just
listen. I'm not gonna pick Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1.
Yeah.
Neither am I.
Not right. But if we throw it in, and I'm not even saying we throw it in the wheel right now. If we throw it in the wheel a year from now, it'll probably be like 3 years before it gets picked.
Very likely.
You know? So, like, that's my thing. It's just like, why are we groaning at it when we could just continue putting our little gaming historian hats on? You know?
I just think of it in the context. I mean, again, that's the point of if we're going to be putting on those hats, I'd rather go to games that we have no experience with whatsoever rather than a fresh one.
Right, but my point is we will.
Rather than what?
My point is we will.
Oh, we will. But for right now, I mean, this is all brought on by your point, Phil.
Yeah, just a question.
Yeah, I mean, that is a valid question.
Well,
And
I think it's an important question to have as
It
we
is.
continue to dabble with original games and remakes and so forth. Because, I mean, Crash Bandicoot's in the list. Phil's not going to like it, but I'm going to push for us to play the original. And be like, we should play the original game.
But, like, my point there
And
is...
Insane Trilogy should be its own thing.
Yeah.
No, because they don't change anything gameplay-wise.
Just visuals?
I mean,
It's literally just visual.
I mean, but there's a physical element, or there's a physics element to it too. Because I remember when Insane came out, people noticed it was like, oh, everything in the original was square with the hitboxes, and they've got rounded edges in this one, which allows Crash to slip off edges. Like it wasn't like important. It didn't like take points off. It's just things that people noticed. So I'm just saying there is differences. They're just more subtle than you would think.
I just don't think I just think ease of access is just not there.
And also, I would like to have conversations that remakes have their own impact.
How about we just don't do Crash?
Shut up.
No, we should do Crash. Crash is good.
But I don't agree that we should. I mean, obviously, we're not going to do like the 1+2 remake thing where we rank all of them together, even though it's like the same menu layout where like you pick one to play.
Right. I guess I'm just saying I would just rather do the Insane Trilogy as a whole, but like in the lead up to that, the 1, 2, 3s.
Well, like my issue with that is like, sure, if we did split up 1+2, they would be 2 individual like 6-hour experiences, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Crash Bandicoot, each game is going to take, I think just because of how hard they are, like minimum like 8 hours each.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm just willing to get nitty gritty like that.
I mean, here's what we can do.
I just don't love that.
And also, like, how many times when you play a remake and you go online to talk about playing a remake, and I know this is not like, if you want to discredit this point, I'm totally fine with that. But how many times you go online and go like, oh yeah, I played the remake of this game, and someone goes, but you didn't play the original. You know?
I get that because
people aren't gonna say that about Crash.
But that's the thing where remember with Dark Souls 3 or Demon Souls, we're like, okay, we had this kind of debate at the same time with the remake versus the original.
Yeah.
We went back and we're like, oh, the original's different. We kind of played it for a second. Tavin mainly did. Compare it because you went and played the remake at the same like around that.
I started the remake,
Yeah.
played the first like level and a half, and then I took one look at you playing it in the living room, and I went, oh, this is different.
Yeah, I think we could do that same thing where it's maybe a bit more targeted, where we say, okay, someone play the original game, maybe all of us do just a little bit, and then the new one, part of the Insane trilogy, and say, well, how different is this? Do those physics really matter all that much? And I think we can get a better answer there.
I can say for certain, there's not going to be any kind of markable difference there.
But then I think the conversation turns into like how good this remake package is. Like, wow, it's so beautiful. Wow, it feels great. Wow, it's like put together with love and care in ways that we care about, right? As like fans at that point, quote unquote, right? Or how a fan would care about it. You know what I'm saying? Like that is an element of this, and it's kind of why like 1+2 ranks so high for me. If 1+2 was truly just a prettier version of 1 and 2, like I don't think I would put it above Resident Evil 4. But because they package it all together so well, and like this part's gonna work against me, but because it's then layered into game progression and like your skill up as a skater, like with the skill points and so forth, like I think that's like, wow, they paced it out in a way to where you are playing the entire experience and it feels like you're playing one game.
I see what you're saying there. I would agree in the whole like them being different. I'm going back to Crash with this example here. In Crash 2, they add new moves for Crash. Like there's like a slide. There's a like a chest like where you like body slam essentially.
Mm-hmm.
If those were if they were like retroactively included in the first game in the remake, I would see how that would be different. They deliberately do not include those moves in the first game when you're playing it. They deliberately leave those out to keep it the same as the original game was.
Okay. Well, I mean, it would probably kind of break the game.
Sure.
Where like including moves in this doesn't break the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
They changed like how certain things works in Tony Hawk in the remake in comparison to the originals, where like some things are a little easier to do, right? and there's like other tricks that I don't think were in the original one.
Sure.
I could just be very wrong.
Connor, where are you at with this conversation, or with this point here?
I just think it's one we see kind of
As we get to it.
as we get to it. Yeah, I just can't because see, I looked at some I watched a video where it was, for example, all the Tony Hawk games or all the skating games actually from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 all the way up until modern day,
Like
and so I saw how it progressed and whatnot. And 1 and 2, of course, vastly different.
Yeah.
And so even just how it seemingly plays. And so with that, that's why I was saying earlier with at least maybe getting hands on the original and the new version to try and determine which one should we be doing here, or how should we proceed with this, which I feel like it's a case-by-case basis, especially because we're still not there yet. So, I mean,
I think that's why we're having the conversation, is because we're there.
Yeah, we're there. Yeah,
we've had a couple of remakes. We've had a couple of games that we've chosen to play the originals over. And now it's time to I think it's just time to have these conversations. And I'm glad that we're not all on the same side on it, because I think realistically, there is a point where you're like, all right, but it's the same fucking game. Like,
and I was there with the Demon Souls remake and Demon Souls.
That one I don't agree with, but like if it was like Last of Us, Last of Us, like, all right, that's the same fucking game. Despite like the minorest of changes. So yeah. Okay. I guess it just kind of depends from game to game, and then we'll just have that conversation.
You never ranked it, Phil?
Huh?
You never ranked it?
Yeah, Phil, we didn't even get where.
No, so the reason I led that up to is because like I would put Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 way higher than Pro Skater 1, but as a package for me, I was going to put it. I was fighting whether or not I was going to put it above or below Portal.
Oh, okay.
For myself. So.
Can I? And I know you're already above it, but I feel like it'd be better if you took the opposite side of me, because you like Kingdom Hearts 2 more than me.
Yeah,
right.
I was waiting for you to bring this up. I don't have a non-subjective way to be like, that I just don't have that.
Okay.
So I don't have an argument here.
Too close to it.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I get
feel
you.
you. Do you like? I don't think Kingdom Hearts 2 is that fun. Like, but y'all have a blast with it.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
So I like
comparing that and Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Like, how does the fun factor kind of blend here? Because
but first of all, this isn't my usual kind of game, right? As
Tony Hawk.
You can, Tony Hawk.
Yeah,
I'm not a racing guy. I'm not a skating guy. I'm not into the culture on either of those things. I've never really played those games before either. Except touching them.
Looking at you, I would never think of you as like score attack guy.
Exactly that too. And that was one of the things I was confronting
the
with
way
when
he tied it into fighting games, though. I was like, oh yeah, that's smart.
That suits Connor perfectly.
Yeah.
It helped me out a lot more, which made me appreciate the genre of skating games a lot more. Makes me want to play more to see if they're all like that. But in the context,
the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games are all like that.
They are all like that. Yeah.
Well,
I meant skating games in general.
4 is a little different.
4 is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
4's got like a campaign.
Yeah.
That's funny. I wouldn't expect that. But original point. What was my original point? Something
fun factor. Not
Kingdom
your type
Hearts.
of game.
Yeah. So Kingdom Hearts is a kind of game I love. RPGs or RPG mechanics. I love action adventure games. I love all the cool fights you get in Kingdom Hearts, and I love the campiness of it. Even though, of course, that kind of adds to the fact the story is not as good as it could be. It's a fond feeling game. Every single one of those games, even Kingdom Hearts 1, ends, and I long for it afterwards.
Yep.
Is for some reason I don't know really why, and maybe it's emotion. It's not because the game's so great. I got to go back and play that again.
I have that feeling for Chain of Memories.
Yeah, and Chain of Memories.
Yeah.
Sure, Phil.
I'm just saying.
If there's one that I'm going to go back to, it might be Chain of Memories.
That's funny. So that's to say,
it's different.
Where the constant high this game gives you, Kingdom Hearts does not. Kingdom Hearts has a lot of points where you're like, okay, this is not the best combat encounter, or maybe bullshit moments in combat happen more. The general gameplay, whereas Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I do want to
Tony
double
Hawk
back
kind of
to you
happens.
now that we're still talking.
Kind of equivalent in that way. But yeah, the high, I guess like the consistent high. I know you're probably going to go to like the things like the Heartless battles, right? The 1,000 Heartless battle. But that's not a game that height is never consistent throughout Kingdom Hearts 2. Whereas this one, as long as you have the skill, you're constantly being able to get high score points and delve into whatever new map the game puts in front of you. And it makes every moment a lot more interesting to know what's going to happen next.
I want to double back to your non. I want to double back to your subjective thing.
I'm not even so when you talk about. You said I was going to bring up the Heartless battle. I wasn't planning on it because while I do have those moments that I do, where like approaching that moment in the game, I do keep a save right before then so I can go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
When playing through the game, every moment to me is that heartless battle where like I'm hitting, because this game is so special to me, where I am replaying this game I played going on 30 times, if not more, in my life. I'm going through the same. I'm grinding up all the fucking the form levels.
Yeah,
just for fun. I'm attacking all these different heartless levels. I'm clearing out.
That sounds so awful to me.
I'm clearing out the entire synthesis list just for fun.
See, that's us ranking it on like this. I think you did rank it on the same one as me because I put it higher. I think that's how it bared out. Like
I was the one putting it the lowest on the list.
Yeah. So
because I was so worried that I was going to get heartbroken, and then I
Yeah.
wasn't.
And to that point, it's like you're doing things that even with how much I like the game, I would not do.
I'm just
I
saying
would not spend my
that's
time
where
doing
I'm
that.
at with Kingdom Hearts 2, where like
Yeah, I know.
feel like I don't have a non-subjective argument to argue it going up. Like you guys already have. I know you're struggling whether or not to put it above or below, but I don't have a convincing way outside of my own like subjective mindset. Where like, oh, this is my favorite game of all time. I do all of this garbage all the time. I play through. I get I squeeze the most juice out of this game on every single new playthrough.
See, the big problem for me with Kingdom Hearts 2 specifically, but kind of just as it is it just feels like Jingling Keys, the franchise.
The Disney elements like that,
and it's all like that, Connor. And to me, it's just like I just don't feel like I can ever sink my teeth into combat for a number of different reasons. Whereas like here, it's just so much more engaged. Like I'm not like there's like a little bit of like brain turn off in Kingdom Hearts 2, which like at the same time can be admirable and enjoyable. And maybe it's just my taste where I just don't like that. Like, and I like being
I think that's a big part of it. Yeah,
engaged in it.
Because there are moments where I'm like, all right, going through this, this section of the game, beating up Heartless.
There's honestly so many times I play Kingdom Hearts 2, I go, fuck, another one? Like another fight? Like where is the pacing? Like can we differentiate these fights by adding a challenge? They're all the same. So yeah, it just
So you were debating about putting it above?
I mean, I was just trying. I was hoping somebody would make an argument mechanically as to why it's superior, and I could hear that argument, but it didn't come today. So I'm gonna land with it above Kingdom Hearts 2, which is where it's gonna end up on the list now. So it is our new number 21.
21
is a totally fair spot for it, I think.
Honestly, I guess Tony Hawk is now added to that level. I need to put it. Where am I putting it now? That all the way to like Severed. Those games are like pennies of a difference. Like in terms of like
2 pennies,
the amount. Right. I can't really debate
my
those.
ranking for it. It was gonna land probably new 23, a
little bit lower.
Maybe 22. I just don't. I would have heard the argument about like better or worse than Portal, but we didn't have that because y'all didn't feel that way.
I can hear I could hear an argument. I don't understand it, but I could hear it and engage with an argument that Resident Evil 4, the original, is better than this. I could hear that argument. I wouldn't agree with it probably.
But and then like if I were to split them up, it would probably be like Pro Skater 2 probably higher than Kingdom Hearts 2, and then Pro Skater 1 would probably go the new bottom of B below Shadow of the Colossus.
That's interesting.
So new number 26.
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
So for me, it would be Pro Skater 2, the new number 21, and then the original Pro Skater, the new number 26.
Mm-hmm. And so it is decreed.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for your episode of the Two Penny Games Cast. But don't fret. We're going to be back next month. And next month is one of our months to pick. Phil, it is your turn to pick. What are we playing, good buddy?
Well, Connor pulled me aside and he cornered me in a dark room and did things to me. And he was like, "Hey, you better pick this game or else."
I mean, it was a dark room. He did a sidebar with you, and
He said you better pick this game or else.
I did hear the threat against your life. I did hear that.
I didn't do that.
We're playing Bloodborne.
Bloodborne!
New number 1.
Continuing our soul's journey.
Guys, I know we've had conversation again. Really me and you, Tavin, of like DLC and such. I don't care about the rankings at this point. Play the goddamn DLC, please. Got both of you.
I mean,
please.
I would like to, Connor, but life gets in the way.
You'll play it and you'll be like,
I get to it,
more
yeah.
Bloodborne? Oh boy. I know. You too, Phil. I don't know if you will. But
Yeah,
I don't know if you will.
You're gonna
Tavin.
have to tell us like when is the moment of like don't go past this part for.
It's.
DLC.
I was gonna say, do you want us to like beat the game and then do the DLC?
No,
or,
no.
like-
I'd recommend doing it
Yeah,
before.
it's one of them dumbass things that they do.
Yes, it's the easiest to get into.
Connor keeps saying, "All right, new number one," and I don't necessarily like disbelieve him, like think that he's wrong with that take just off of the conversation around Bloodborne. But like,
The Dark Soul. I know what you're gonna say.
do you really think we're jumping that much in quality from Dark Souls at 20 to number one?
I will say, like, aside from number one,
I remember, wasn't I higher on Dark Souls? Didn't I want
Yes,
it
you
to
were
go
higher on Dark Souls. Yes,
That's the dog.
yeah, the Dark.
yeah, it's the dog.
It
thumping,
is
okay.
literally like it is definitively. I will be shocked if you guys don't put it in S tier with me.
Oh, I believe
shocked.
that.
I mean, I think there's without a doubt going to be a place for it.
I
in S
mean,
tier.
I think the first fight it has to have is Hades.
Well, that's my point. Where it's like there is that big of a jump between
Just
Dark Souls. to this.
Every fight Hades
for
up
me-
is so hard to
I was
fight.
gonna say for me, I think it starts with Hades.
That's a good way to put it. Well, so you say now. We'll see.
It'll have to fight for the top 5.
It'll have to fight for the top 5. Ladies and gentlemen, but we also want to prepare you for the future. So,
April.
April, we will be back April, whatever, first Monday of April with your review
I'll
of
tell you right now.
Bloodborne. And then the first Monday,
April 6th.
April 6th, we'll be back with Bloodborne. And then the first Monday in May,
May 4th. May
we
the 4th
will be
with you.
back with what we are about to find out right now. But the problem is that Tavin doesn't remember which filter was what.
This always makes
there
me
we go,
nervous
there
for
we go.
some reason. I'm like, what's gonna land on? What's
How
it gonna
much of my
do?
life is going to get sucked away by this dumb internet show Tavin wants to do?
And then it says Persona 3. I'm like, well, a lot
of time.
We got time. Hey, this is why we do this now.
yeah,
so you never know.
so that we can prep a
Playing
little bit.
Reload.
What?
What'd you say?
Playing-
That's another one that I want to fight for
Playing-
the original,
playing
especially because the
Reload.
original is like so thing. I'm gonna play the original. But we've also vetoed a couple of games. We don't remember what we did the last time we did this, and
Yeah,
I
because
tried to find
Tavin's
it, but I
lazy.
didn't say it in the episode. So we vetoed Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, The Last of Us Part 2, and Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official movie game.
Hate Connor. They're hating
Game
me.
of
That's
the
other
movie.
reason.
Official game of the fucking
Official game of the movie.
All right, cool. And so we're
Wait,
gonna
wait.
find. Yes, sir.
What are we hoping for?
Oh,
Any
for-
game here on that, like,
for,
oh,
like,
I
what
want to
we-
play.
What we play in April?
Yeah. What, guys-
Anything? Sly Cooper.
I'd love more Ratchet. I'd love
That's it.
Halo.
That too.
Mass Effect's my pick. I really want to play Mass Effect.
I would like to see some sequels.
Yeah.
Some sequels to things
I
we've
don't
already
think
done.
I don't think we need to start another new franchise. I want to see a sequel.
I agree. But
true.
we'll see if that's actually going to happen. Here we go with the big spin.
I
Other
say
than
that-
Sly.
I
Sly
say-
can be in there.
I
Oh, it
say
might
that,
be.
but it's going to end up being like
no, it's not. Wait, no.
It's
It's
Uncharted.
Undertale.
Undertale. All right.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm satisfied with that. That's good.
That's fine. That's fine.
Tavin, views, Tavin.
I don't know
views.
what it is about Undertale, man. I don't know what it is. I just I tried to get into it and couldn't, and I just kind of cringe every time someone brings it up in
You don't like
conversations.
Undertale?
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't have an.
I like Undertale.
I don't have
I
enough
played
of an
pretty
opinion
substantial
about
I
it.
platinumed it.
There's just something about it that I'm like, eh.
Well, now you'll be able to officiate why you do it.
I honestly thought it was going to hit Uncharted there for a second.
I
Is
thought
that
so
what
too.
that is? Uncharted
That was the
2?
next one to it.
very
Yeah.
God,
close.
I would so much rather that right
but no,
now.
what was funny is before it landed on that, I was like, we say we want a sequel, but then we're just going to hit like Bioshock 2, Fable 2.
The monkey paw
I
girls.
would-
Would be
have wanted
interesting.
that.
Would be interesting. I'm actually kind
That
of
would have been a
interested-
monkey paw moment.
With
yeah,
how
yeah.
I feel about Bioshock 1, I am interested to see how I feel about Bioshock 2 because I've never played it.
Fable
I
2
don't
you guys will like. That's going to be another one that's going to jump up way more than you think.
I think I'm going to enjoy the new Fable. That's all I got. All right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The one coming out this
we're
year,
going to
right?
be playing some Undertale after Bloodborne. So this next month, play Bloodborne along with us. And then the month after that, play some Undertale alongside with us.
March, we're playing Bloodborne. April, we're playing Undertale.
Undertale on the Vita. Can I play the Undertale on my PS Vita?
I doubt it. Switch, though.
I
You
also
got Switch.
doubt it. I think it came out after the Vita
It
like
might
kind of
be,
died.
yeah, it might be too late for that. But it also may have been like because
20
there for a while
2016.
it could be because there was a while there that like the Vita stayed alive because the fan base was so fucking like about it. So like there was a thing in indie game circles of like,
But
hey, if you put your game on Vita, they'll buy it.
at that time, it was still only a PC game. It didn't make the jump to consoles until like 2018.
Oh, okay. Maybe not then. All right. Until next time, have a great time.
Hey,
Let us
Tavin?
know- Yes, sir.
It's on the Vita.
It's on the Vita.
Is it really?
That's
It's on the
insane.
Vita.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy.
Until next time, have a great time. Play alongside. Give us your rankings down in the comments below. And gentlemen, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.